right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here. Yes, it's not Wednesday at noon. That's my goal every week, but I've got a luncheon tomorrow. And so I decided to come to you early on Facebook Live with no warning, but I'm using these videos so that you can ask questions. This is all around basically a teaching around my podcast. So please write replay if you're not on live, write replay and ask me those questions and I'll get those in my feed so that I can answer any of your questions. All right, today I am talking about, this is so exciting to me because this has served me already this week. I want to tell you a little story in a minute. Episode 16 is success no matter what. And I realize that it's pretty tricky, the difference of words that we use. And I found that there's two that I have been using in my life, and one gets results and one kind of stay the same. And what I'm talking about is two simple words around trying something that is really important to you and being committing 100%. So it's pretty sneaky that those two words could affect such a difference, and I'm going to show you how in a minute. But I want to share a story that yesterday I had a fabulous, restful, amazing weekend. I was loved on by my husband and my kids. It was great. So I was curious why I was having this like trigger of emotion and fear around my business. Well, I hadn't recorded my podcast yet. It's due on Mondays. And this is for next week. It's due on Mondays. And I also noticed that there were not any registrations yet for an event I'm doing. And I was like, oh. And I realized that I was trying to do some things in my business, especially the workshop event I put out there. I did a little too quickly and didn't allow enough planning and time to market the event. It had nothing to do with who I am, and it's my business. I just didn't market it right. So I started getting more rational about it. But the reason I went back to this is I actually listened to my own podcast by mistake. I'm in the car, I tap it. I think I'm going to be listening to School of Greatness. I love Lewis Howes. And mine accidentally came up on the feed because it was new. And oh my God, I'm listening to my own podcast. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll listen here. And it really reminded me what's so important, that the way we speak about what we're doing in our lives will create your results every single time. So find out, kind of ask yourself, how are you talking about something that's really important for you to achieve in your life? Are you trying to have a better relationship with your husband? Are you trying to start a business? Are you trying to lose weight? Or are you 100% committed, all in, no matter what, as if failure wasn't an option? I love this way of thinking about it. What would you do differently if you were committed 100%? So this can relate to anything in your life that you want to achieve, anything at all. How we think really matters. Now, this chart may look a little confusing to you, so I want you to listen to what I'm teaching here. How we think matters every single time. I coach around the thought model. It's something I use every coaching session I'm in, every self-coaching moment I am. It is really a self-coaching model. And it shows me that the circumstance, this is the C line, any goal you want to achieve, that's the circumstance. But the thought you have around it will create a different result every single time. So in both situations of trying and being committed, we are still trying. It's all around. Our activity is around this goal. But when you say you're trying, and a sentence many of us use, I found myself using, I'm trying really hard to start my business. I'm trying really hard. First, it's hard. That makes us slow down. And trying, it sounds like, oh, I'm doing enough, but then I sit back. I'm trying, taking a stab at, right? And that creates an emotion. That thought, trying and really hard, creates kind of several emotions. There's almost a couple of thoughts in there. I'm trying. For me, it's a little apathetic. It's not very an energetic emotion. And I left feeling blank because how do you feel when you think you're trying something? You might test that. Write down when you try something, what happens versus being committed. And so trying is the thought around the goal, and our feeling, how we feel when we think that thought, creates the actions. And for me, when I am trying to do something, I take a little action at it, maybe out of fear, and like, oh, that was enough. Okay, I try a little more. And so I kind of stay the same. The results are the same. But when I'm fully committed, oh my goodness. And I came up with this sentence while I created the podcast. If I were committed 100%, no matter what, and failure was not an option, you see how juicy that is? I feel so I would put confident in here. I would go curious. It creates a lot of emotions that work for me, because when I'm committed no matter what, and I bust the fear bubble by saying if failure is not an option, I kind of take that out of my head, out of the equation, I take lots of action. This is how we reach our goals. We try something, we step back. We try something again. When I'm committed no matter what, if something doesn't work, I'll try something else. Because if fear is not an option, I don't get stuck in myself. So this is so critical for all of us. If this could encourage you just around one facet of your life, it is amazing to just get the really sneaky difference between trying and committed. When we are fully committed, no matter what, to something, and fear is not an option, we don't let fear get in our way, we take lots and lots of action, persevere, we grow. Our business grows, we hit the results we want to. Because, like, think about the example I used, and I'm not going to go fully into this. My goal with bringing you these teachings is also to send you to the podcast. Because in the podcast, what I share is the example of weight loss and starting a business, like in something else that you want to achieve. You know, I use two examples, one very business-like and then one with losing weight. And so go to the podcast, dive in, and it will help you think of your own examples. Are you trying? Are you 100% committed no matter what, as if failure was not an option around the things that are important to you? First, sometimes doing this, we try things that maybe aren't that important to us. So we put a little bit of energy to it. We may even discover, asking this question, no, I'm not committed 100% to this goal. And it helps us to redirect our energy. Because if we can try in like 10 different areas, we're not going to get a lot of results in the things that we're putting our energy at. But if we pick 1, 2, maybe 3 things that are very, very important to us, and we give it our all, that's when we see results. All right, I love bringing this to you. You can find me on iTunes, Empowered Wellness for Leaders, and ask me any question you want on this Facebook Live. Again, the title of the podcast, Success No Matter What. I love you guys, and I love, like, you're going to get a before and after picture here. Do you see? It's time to go sit in the chair and get some color done. So I appreciate you honoring showing up here, and whether I'm in my yoga outfit or whether I'm in my business outfit. It seems that these days are flip charts and yoga pant days. I hope you have a great day.